Man, this is always the most fun when Pete from Southern Distilling comes by because there's whiskey and there's talk about all the weird stuff that goes on at a distillery. I love all this stuff. Pete, how are you, man?
Man, I'm great. Great. Good
So
to be
there's fun stuff happening like quickly. So let's get right to that. What's going on?
We have so many fun things going on. It's hard to keep track, actually. So, this is our first season where we're partnered with the Carolina Panthers. Super proud about that. But we've got some really special things going on at the distillery in the next couple of days. So one of the things that we've been working on over the past month and a half, and it's really kind of like a dream come true, is a single barrel selection program that is actually sanctioned by the Panthers and the NFL, which is kind of like a miracle. Anytime we do a new product, it takes months, if not years, to get that done. And so this is a new release of one of our most special products, our Paragon single barrel. So this is the same product that won Best Bourbon, period, bar none, last year at the New York World Wine and Spirits Competition.
That's such a huge deal. So you gloss over that because you're used to saying it, but that's kind of that's
our Super Bowl. That is the Super Bowl for our industry, right? And, luckily it's a double blind contest, so they don't get to see the bottles. Our great friends in Kentucky, usually take those accolades. And
right.
For a little company that a lot of people never heard of in North Carolina to win that, it's certainly punching above our weight. So we're really proud of that.
Yeah.
But we went through about 30 of these single barrels and selected 6, especially for this release for the Panthers. And it commemorates the 2003 NFC championship that we won, So it's a 20-year anniversary of that and, just a really, really special thing.
And a limited number, obviously, of bottles.
Yeah, I think that out of those barrels, it only produced about 1,000 bottles. Okay, and we're going to release the first 150 at the distillery this Friday at 10 o'clock. So line up, because once they're gone, they're gone. Now on Saturday, they will be available in select ABC stores throughout Charlotte, Mecklenburg, and I think we've got a barrel going to South Carolina as well. But we don't think these are going to last very long. One of the other big items that we're super excited about is we've got a couple of legends from that 2003 team, Mushin Muhammad and Mike Rucker, are going to actually be at the distillery at 5 o'clock Friday to sign bottles. So big deal to have those guys in.
So you're saying take Friday off. Get
take
there
Friday
early,
off.
Spend the whole day at
Queue
Southern
up.
Distilling.
Queue up, be there for 10 o'clock so that you can get your bottles, go out, hang out with the mini donkeys out there, walk around the campus, and then at 5 o'clock, get ready. We're going to have tacos and all kinds of great stuff, and then these legends from the 2003 Panthers team.
And by the way, I'm sure there are people listening right now who've never been to Southern Distilling, by the way. And
only cheating themselves.
100%.
We were there, a week ago, 2 weeks ago with Purple Heart Homes Take That Hill event, and it had changed night and day from a year prior when the event was held there. It's so beautiful, and it's not just making whiskey that's happening out there. There's these amazing rustic yet modern facilities that can be rented out for weddings and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we've worked really hard on the campus. Our industry it's very rural, it's very agrarian, and so we really kind of wanted to lean into that. So we literally do have our little herd of mini donkeys out there that, really those things are super popular, so cute. Everybody loves them.
Right.
But then we've got the event center there that looks like an old barn, but it's about 12,000 feet. I think we can host about 500 people in there. And we had our good friends at Purple Heart Homes supporting veterans causes. They're doing the Take That Hill event that you guys were at. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
But had the whole crew in there. And that's really what it's about, is building community. It's not just about building brands and business. It's about building bonds and building community. And that's why this partnership with the Panthers is so important to us, because it just leans into that.
So for somebody who's a dumb guy about whiskey, and as much as you've tried to school us on this, it takes a lot of time for me to get it. These bottles, this Panther Pick special bottle, like what is it that makes that extra special?
So we'll start with the mash bill, and so mash bill that's a recipe. So that's the grains that we put in there. So this is kind of it's special because it doesn't have any rye. So bourbon by definition has to be primarily corn, but then you can have your secondary grain, which is typically rye. This doesn't have any rye, so this is 70% corn, 16% wheat, 14% malted barley. Now that wheat gives it a really sweet flavor. It takes a lot longer in the barrel to mature, but it's worth the wait. So some of the most notable and lauded bourbons are these wheated bourbons, which are a minority, but again, kind of worth the wait. And that's the product that won the award that we were talking about. And these are, I do all of our single barrel selections. I personally pick these, but, I picked what I would call the best of the best for this release. Okay. And I didn't do it by myself, by the way. I picked a handful of barrels, and then we had our friends from Charlotte Mecklenburg ABC, Brian Peter. We had our friends from the Panthers come in, and some other folks. Bob Peters from Built on Hospitality Restaurant Group was in. And these are guys that are deeply steeped in the community and really kind of helped us with that selection.
It really is so cool. And maybe, if somebody's never seen the process of just how this stuff gets made, you can go to Southern Distilling like we have and just sort of watch it. You gave us a tremendous tour. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking about, you were talking about the history of why Statesville, North Carolina specifically, is so important to the industry. For somebody who doesn't know any of that, give me a little bit of that history.
Yeah, well, the real quick story there is that prior to 1903 in the late 1800s and right up until the turn of the century, there was a lot of liquor being produced in Statesville. And that's a kind of an unknown but true history. One of the things I like to say is this is an industry, the spirits industry loves a great story. And a couple of them are true, right? And this is one of those rare events that it's a true history, and one that in North Carolina we don't know a lot about, but we really need to kind of celebrate because I think it's really critical, not just to the industry but to our state. But we have this legacy going back again until 1903. We had over 450 small distilleries were feeding product into larger distilleries in Statesville, and then sending all that product back out by rail. And the rail is really the key. So, we had grain and we had water and all those good things, but we had two major rail lines that crossed in Statesville. That's really why Statesville is where it is. It's what put it on the map. But anyway, that transportation was critical to get that product to the Northeast. Now, here's the bad part. All of this product was being produced in Statesville, so it put a big target on Statesville relative to the temperance movement, the Anti-Saloon League. So we had folks coming out of the Northeast, wanted to put liquor down. Liquor wasn't really being produced in the Northeast, so they came to Little Statesville where a lot of it was being produced, and that's really where Prohibition started in 1903. So 17 years before the rest of the country, Statesville went dry, and that's what led into the boon of illicit production or bootlegging. A lot of people know North Carolina for the bootlegging history, but nobody ever says, but why? And there's the reason why. You had all of these people who knew that craft and knew the trade, and then they were kind of shut down.
See, kids, history is fun when it's about booze.
Right.
Yeah.
You should incorporate all of this history and stuff into tours, maybe have a tasting, meet the donkeys, all of it.
Yeah.
Because it's so interesting and fascinating.
I just want to know why they don't teach this type of stuff in high school. They taught me how to square dance, but this is actually living history in our own backyard.
That's right.
You mentioned the mini goats.
Mini donkeys.
Donkeys, that's right. That's where I was going, is that we hear about goat yoga now. Do they do
We don't
donkey,
do donkey yoga.
No, is that even a thing? Is that possible?
No.
I don't think you want that.
No, they're many, but they're heavy.
Yeah. You don't want a donkey on your back.
They said the same
you
thing
definitely
about us.
don't want a donkey on your back. Trust me. I think I've had an employee that can corroborate that.
Okay, so it's been tried and it doesn't work well. All right, I understand that. You mentioned earlier when we started about the big special release on Friday and the collaboration with the Panthers, and you touched on how it's unusual to be able to have this all, I guess, approved and pushed forward when it comes to the NFL. And
we really didn't know how long this was going to take. I mean,
what has to go on? Because I think we all understand, if you're a football fan at all, like the NFL is very, they want to make sure everything is done correctly.
Yeah.
Right. Uniforms, rules, everything.
There's a way for everything, right?
Did they want to cut? I mean, did they physically cut? Like, was Goodell at the distillery tasting whiskey?
If he was incognito.
Okay. All right. So that doesn't. It's not just an excuse for him to come drinking.
Yeah. No. Well, I think our good friends at Tupper really believed in this project, and we had such a. I mean, this legacy, our 20-year anniversary of the NFC Championship, our first shot at the Super Bowl, it's a big deal.
Right.
And, we're kind of launching into a new era, and it's good to go back and reflect on those successes, and kind of points to the future. But I think that Tupper felt so good about that they really kind of pushed to get this thing, through. And thankfully, the NFL said, yeah, we like it, let's do it. So there we have it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really exciting. Well, we'll have all the information obviously up on our social media as well. I see that the Southern Distilling Instagram has been very active, which I'm loving seeing that. It's a lot of information out there with beautiful photography and everything, way better than our social media.
That is correct.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. No, it's going really well. What else do we not know, or what else should we know? Or for someone who doesn't know anything about you guys, what?
I would just say, we are just 35 miles north of Charlotte, straight up 77, super convenient. Yeah. We're open 7 days a week for tours and tastings, and it is educational.
Yep.
It's not just about the whiskey; it's about the legacy and what we do and how we work within our community. And we just would love folks to invite them up to come and learn a little bit about what we do and, join us.
Yeah, it really is. It's a really cool thing to see.
And it's gorgeous just to hang out.
Or if you're having an event,
Yeah.
an amazing space for people to gather.
Yeah. And we are kid friendly, by the way.
Yeah.
So we do not offer children samples. Okay, just to be clear.
No matter how much they beg.
But we are kid friendly. Kids are more than welcome to attend the tours with their parents, et cetera. And again, it's 7 days a week. But we'd love to have folks come in and visit.
Yeah. Well, and big day Friday. So,
and if you can't come in to visit, please go to your local ABC store and ask for Southern Star. So that is the one thing that we should really point out. We are a Southern Distilling Company, proud makers of Southern Star bourbons and whiskeys.
Right.
Do you know that every ABC store is going to carry it? Are you going to release that? Should it be like an Easter egg hunt?
It'll be a little bit of an Easter egg hunt. I'm not sure what stores within Charlotte Mecklenburg are going to have that. We probably need to post that.
You're talking about for the limited release.
For the limited release.
Southern Star's in all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm talking about for the limited release. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that that's a good point.
Well, it just, a new store opened up and was selling something that people wanted last weekend, and people stood in the rain.
I was there.
You were.
I was there at 8:30, and they had 500 people lined up. And at 2:00, they were still lined up. I think I signed. I can't tell you how many bottles I signed, but it was unbelievable.
So the line was for you guys.
No. The line wasn't for us. The line was for the store. We happened to be featured there. We did a tasting there, but I can tell you it is just one of the most impressive stores I've ever seen anywhere in the country.
Really?
Yeah, a brand new store, Charlotte Mecklenburg, just in the Steel Creek area.
Yeah, it's
just
the River
absolutely
Gate.
beautiful.
Chelsea came in Monday and she's like, there was a line at 7 a.m. at the new ABC store.
There was a line at 5 a.m., guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard
People
about
are
it.
excited.
And let me tell you, the weather was terrible because we had to go play soccer a couple hours later.
it was
in that
raining.
weather.
Oh, it was raining.
Where people don't care.
But they
line up.
queued up at 5 a.m. I mean, they're big fans. And so we hope to see the same thing, 10 o'clock this Friday. Doors open.
That's awesome.
Limited edition bottles. Get them before they're gone.
All right. Pete, thank you so much, man.
Thank
it's
you,
always
guys.
fun.
Thank you very much. It's great.